Howdy, everybody, and welcome back to Cosplay is a Community. My name is Jade Torres, and I am your host. Today, I'm actually not at my house in my room like I usually am. Today, I am at College Station Comic Con, which is a comic convention that happened at the Brazos County Expo Center on September 13th and 14th. So today is Saturday, September 13th, and I am here with two more cosplayers who are ready to share their stories. Let me introduce them to you. Kristen started her costuming journey with high interest in historical fashion with her first medieval dress when she was 12. Though she had been around the cosplaying world for years, after 9 years of on-again and off-again progress, she finished her first cosplay. With a wide range of skills, Kristen believes that no one ever stops learning and is eager to help any cosplayer with ideas learn new skills or give advice. Sara first considered getting into costuming when she was 13, deep in a Mandalorian obsession. She didn't actually start anything until she was 18, beginning her journey towards being an official member of the Mandalorian Mercs costume club. 6 years later, she still hasn't finished her first kit, but she hopes to have it approved before the end of the year if she doesn't decide to repaint the whole thing for the 18th time, which honestly is something I relate to 100% as a cosplayer. So let's go ahead and let's welcome Sara and Kristen. Hi, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hi.
Hello. It's awesome to have you guys on the show today. So the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys today is because I wanted to talk about the club that you guys are involved in called the Mando Mercs. So who are you guys for people that don't even know who you are?
So the Mandalorian Mercs obviously is a costuming club. It's actually officially licensed. So when you're officially approved, you're like Lucasfilm TM, you know, which is why there's an approval process and why you have to go through all of that. But basically, we're just a group of people who really like Mandalorians, and we don't dress up typically as official Star Wars characters, but it's more about expressing creativity. So there's different armor styles. Most people paint their armors different colors, that sort of thing. There are actually a lot of other Star Wars costuming clubs, like the 501st Legion, and the Rebel Legion and the Saber Guild, which all do different official Star Wars costumes and stuff like that. So there's a whole group of us, costume clubs, that are kind of intertwined, but I'm specifically working to join the Mandalorian Mercs.
Awesome, yeah. And then Kristen, what about you? You have any insight on anything?
Not really, other than just like it's an easy community to find that you just plug in and get involved with because it's a defined club, a group that you're doing it with. You can find people really easy versus like trying to go onto a Instagram account, DMing people or just meeting someone at a con. It's real easy to find your people.
Especially since it's international. So there's, I think 70. So because we're Mandalorians, obviously, our club is organized into clans. And there's 70 clans like around the U.S. and across the world. And I think like 1,600 approved members or something like that. So there's a lot of people around the whole world that are involved with it. So there's anywhere you are, you can find somebody pretty much.
That's super cool. I've never seen this is the first time I'm seeing something like this for cosplay in general. Just having a big group of people that you can contact you about one specific niche. So that is just really cool to me. So going back on you guys, how did you find out about them? Like, how did you join them?
Well, so I'm not an official member yet. I have my boots. I have my boots for my kit. That's about it. But actually, Sara is the one who dragged me to come be a handler, which means I just kind of help take pictures, make sure they're in their kit properly, because there's a lot of pieces to these armors, and I just help people get dressed, make sure they're drinking water, run errands, help fix things.
Make sure we don't run into people.
Make sure they don't run into anybody. Kind of anything that they need done, I do. And last year at the Bell County Comic Con in 2024, she was like, hey, come hang out with me. Let's go have fun. And I was like, sure. And this is now my 4th con to help handle that. So
Oh my gosh.
you won't get rid of me that easy.
Like it said in my bio, I found them when I was 13, trolling the internet, because I was really into a Mandalorian phase. Like, I was learning the language and everything. But you can't be an official member until you're an adult. They do have a Verdica Corps for kids, but I didn't know about that at the time. So kids can join if they have a family member join with them. But I didn't know that, so I thought I had to wait till I was 18. So instead I got my brother involved. And now he's an official member and I still am not. But that's fine.
Oh my gosh. But you're working towards it, correct?
Yes, I'm almost there,
So
hopefully.
I think
She's
good.
getting her pre-application pictures taken this weekend.
Ooh. Well, you'll have to update me, guys, on the website. If you go look at the website, I'll give an update on it.
Oh, cool.
Sarah is an
If I
official
pass the test or
member.
not.
Yes, you have to let me know. That's like exciting. So, when transitioning into how you actually make the suits, because I know probably most people are familiar with what the Mandalorian looks like or what the Mandalorian suit looks like. So how do you actually make one?
So one common misconception a lot of people ask is if we make the armor out of foam, especially since that's very prevalent in the cosplay community. Foam is used a lot. However, because we are our approval process goes through Lucasfilm, our material has to be more durable than that. So the armor is usually made out of a specialized type of plastic called Sintra, or even some extra diehards make it out of metal.
Or some people 3D print it too.
Yeah.
But 3D prints also because, it's got to look good to be official. So if you 3D print it, you can't have any visible print lines. So that's a lot of sanding.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. So Sintra is probably the most common because it's light and it's easy to get. You can, if you're really lucky and you have you can buy it through sign shops. And if you call your sign shop, sometimes you can get scrap Sintra for free, which is great. But also, you can do what are these called?
Gauntlets.
Yeah, my gauntlets are PVC, which I did because I was poor when I started.
I can't even tell that they're PVC, by the way.
Yeah.
Just looking at them directly across from you,
Yeah, so they're PVC, and I cut them in half and then used a heat gun to mold them. Sintra also is moldable by a heat gun. You can get at the store for $20, or a hairdryer too. So my gauntlets are PVC and my plates are Sintra, except my shoulders, which are metal.
that's sick.
Which I used to have all metal plates, but they were too big and it was too hard to cut them down, so now they're Sintra. My brother's got an all metal kit.
Oh, wow.
Because at the time we didn't have money and we had a lot of scrap sheet metal lying around because my parents were building a house. So we just used what was there.
Honestly, that makes sense. I've talked to a lot of cosplayers on the show that have mentioned that they take stuff that they already have either in their closet or either they have fabric from another project or something, and they put it together and they actually look at the fabric that they have and they're like, well, how do I take this fabric and make something out of it? Which is so interesting, because I always thought that with cosplay you would make a sketch first and then go from there on what you wanted to make.
Yeah, which, that I have more of a cosplaying historical garment making background, and so I tend to buy all my fabric. Actually, I did have one dress I made that was all fabric except for a yard and a half of brown fabric and a yard of white fabric. Other than that, It was a 16th century noblewoman's costume, and I had all of the pieces either given to me, or I'd got them from a thrift store, or somebody was cleaning out their house and said, here's a bolt of fabric, and I made it all from there. So the bodice is made from leftover upholstery fabric that I still have, I don't know, 8 yards left of it.
That's
It's
insane.
ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, trying to be as frugal and resourceful as possible.
Otherwise, it gets expensive.
Yeah.
You can like buy the stuff for your whole thing, but the more you do yourself, the cheaper it is. A lot of people will buy their helmet, which is typically either 3D printed or resin cast. Mine
Vacuum formed.
Yeah, or vacuum formed. Mine is a little unique in that aspect because when I started, there was a Halloween Jango Fett 2-piece helmet that you could basically build off of. So I took that as a base and then added a whole bunch of center reinforcing and Mando and a whole bunch of stuff on top of it. But most people get theirs in one piece. Mine is kind of constructed. But and then obviously there's also everything else involved. You can 3D print your weapons. Some people make them themselves. You know, there's
Some people for guns take Nerf guns, and you have to like sand off any logos on it.
Yeah.
But they'll often use Nerf guns as a base for
or
the
like
shape.
defunct airsoft guns or something like that. Though it can't look like a worldly earthly thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things you can use as a base and then build off of to make it Star Warsy.
I love how resourceful this is.
Yeah. Oh, it's so resourceful. And I do want to mention, too, that, like, on the patterns for all of the pieces you can do, I mean, you can do chest plate, which is required, and then there's collar and shoulders. There's patterns for that on the Mando Mercs forum. That's everybody. And there are so many different people who are in the Mando Mercs who have gone and said, okay, well, this is my process and how I got there. So there's actually there's somebody I met in Dallas who has a similar body type that I have, and they use the same style of armor that I'm going to use, and they created a huge, like, super detailed process of just how they made it and made it to fit them. So there's tons of free resources and tutorials on the forum, and if you don't know how to do it, go to a con with the Mando Mercs and they'll help you through it, because I get lost.
Well, there's tutorials for anything and everything. Like there's tutorials on how to make a helmet out of a 5-gallon bucket. Like anything you want to do, you can probably find somebody who's done it or who has experience in some way. The website is mandalorianmercs.org specifically.
Yeah, and I will put that in the website, guys, too, so that way you guys can find it. So I find that all very interesting. I think it's super cool that you have a club that you can go to get all of those resources and get all of that experience. So going into more about the club aspect, so because our show is Cosplay as a Community, so we are talking about community. So what are the like community aspects behind the club? So how has this club formed its own little community, either in your experience or outside of what we've already talked about?
So there's a couple ways. So like I said, since we're organized into clans, when you join, you get plugged in with your local clan. If there's geographically local. So we're in Cartabescar, which is Central Texas. So everybody in the clan is like within 2 or 3 hours of each other, pretty much. And so we can get together for like when it's not super hot outside, because then we'll all cook. We can get together and have armor parties and help each other work on our costumes. We have a Christmas party every year. You know, we go to cons as a club. Can
you explain what an armor party is for people that don't know?
You just get together in somebody's garage and work on your stuff. So things that require two people, like armor fitting, if you don't have somebody to do that with you, you can go to an armor party and they'll help you. Or more experienced members can help younger members learn how to do stuff, pretty much. It's just, you get together and build stuff together.
Well, and there's also, like, if you're trying to learn how to make a pattern for it or trying to fit it to you, because it's all personalized to you, because almost everybody who's in Mando Mercs is their own original character. You can do the face characters like the Mandalorian Din Djarin. You can do anybody from Mandalore. So I actually want to do a Duchess Satine eventually.
Oh, yeah.
But their requirements for that is far more strict because they want you to look almost like a one-to-one, like from the TV show or movie to what you look like in real life. But going back to the armor party, when you're trying to fit, okay, so I'm a very large chested person. I am. And to fit armor to that, I mean, to make a 2D flat piece of plastic fit a rounded object, you have to have a lot of pattern work and practice. And the people who are going to help me are up in the Dallas area, and they have more women in that area who are a similar body type to me.
I am not large-chested.
So hers is real easy to fit.
Yeah.
But basically, I mean, if you have any background in tailoring or pattern making, like it really does make a big difference. And for somebody who has no idea how to do any of that, the armor parties and other people who love doing it just show up because they want to help. They want to help other people learn, be part of the group, go to different events. And because Mando Mercs do more than just cons. I don't know if we mentioned that or not. But,
Yeah, no.
So it's a non-profit.
All of the Star Wars costuming organizations are. So the 501st, Saber Guild, all of them are also nonprofits. So every con, pretty much every con, we're raising money for some kind of nonprofit. But we also do, they're called invasions, where we might go to a library for an event that they have and just show up in kit and hang out with the kids and that sort of things. Or people go to hospitals and stuff like that.
Senior centers, community fairs, events, and we all do it. I mean, it's not paid by any means.
Yeah.
We just do it because we're nerds and we like doing it, and it brings joy to people.
Yeah, I love that y'all give back to the community. I didn't even know y'all were a nonprofit until I talking to you. That's just awesome. I love when we can use cosplay for good things as well. And I think we need that today, definitely, with everything going on. So,
And with community also, like, every time we do a con, like, we always go out to eat afterwards. And most of the time, like, for, the College Station Comic-Con, not everybody who's here from the club lives in this area. And so they're, like, staying at each other's houses,
Me staying with Sarah's parents.
oh my gosh.
So we all kind of work together to make things happen. And mostly we just like hanging out with each other.
That's awesome. Honestly, I love that. So, if someone wanted to join the Mando Mercs, how would you join? Like, what advice would you give to them in becoming a member?
Go to the forums. Anybody can join the forum and make an account. And then there's a little bar that's clan locator, I think. And then you just type in where you are. And then it'll take you, it'll pop up where your closest clans are. Texas has a bunch. So if you type in Texas, there's 4, 5 if you count El Paso. But most of theirs is in New Mexico. So there's 4 or 5 clans in Texas. So when I just type in Texas, it'll pop up all of those. But it'll tell you the region. Like North Texas is the Moran clan. And I live right alongside the border of Oklahoma and Texas. So I geographically am in the Moran clan, but Sara, who got me involved, is from the South Central Texas or Central Texas area. So I just actually met the Moran clan people to get involved last month. So I'm going to try and do some stuff closer to home because as much as I love driving 3.5 hours to come do stuff,
no.
it's not real convenient for some armor parties sometimes.
No, I would feel that.
But rabbit hole. You plug in the locator and it'll pull you to their page, and you can I think
Basically introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Make a post. Say, hey, here I am. You know, this is what area I am. How do I get involved? You know, and then the clan leaders will reach out to you. A lot of, like, Carte Beskar also has a Discord page where we do a lot of general chatting, sharing memes and stuff. But the main place to, like, find out what's going on is going to be on the forum.
yeah,
Awesome.
and they're pretty active. I personally am not a super huge fan of like forums and social media. I'm terrible with all that. But I actually got involved going to a con. Actually, the first time I met the Moran clan was the first year I went to Fan Expo in Dallas. But I didn't really know anything about it because it was the June before. So it was just last year in June before Sara told me anything about the Mando Mercs Club. And then I was like, where has this been all my life? And why are you just now telling me about this?
Right.
It's not like we've been friends since we were 13, 12. I don't know. But, so, anyway, I am a much more people-y person, so I like going and talking in person versus just talking to somebody online who I've never seen their face before.
Talking to strangers scares me, so I don't like to do that.
I feel you. That's understandable. It takes a lot of confidence to talk to strangers sometimes. Which is what I'm doing,
met
so.
my mother. Oh my gosh. My mother beat that out of me, so.
You know, and that's okay. So I do want to ask another question. So, we know actually how to join, but so say someone's in the club, like you, Sara, and they're doing all this kit stuff for the first time, and they're just really in this place where they're like, oh, I can't do this, and they feel really defeated. What advice would you give to that type of person?
Ask somebody for help. You know, everybody has, on the forum, they have a work in progress post, which is basically like, this is what I've done, this is what I'm working on. Or if your local clan has a Discord, you can post in one of the chats like, hey, I'm having trouble with this, can somebody help me out, or do you have any advice, that sort of thing. But honestly, just finding a way to do something with somebody else. I have a really hard time making progress all on my own. So, like, a month ago, I was down here working with my brother and father, and I got a lot of stuff done, and I came home with, like, a list of things I needed to do, and I did, like, one of them in the next month, because I was just doing it by myself. So if you have trouble there, I would say that's what the armor parties are for, or you can just get together with somebody local, drag a friend into it, you know, and work on it with somebody else. There's a lot of moral support there.
Yeah, a lot of support, and I know there's one guy who was like, hey, I have a free Saturday. Does somebody need help? Just show up here. And then doing that kind of thing, basically just saying, I need help, I need support, and they're like, okay, how can we help you? Because, like I said, a lot of these experienced guys want to help. I'm still relatively new to the process, and I'm a really bad procrastinator, but I have had so many hours of conversation. I have to, like, plan everything out ahead of time in my head before I get motivation to do stuff. So I've had so many conversations with these guys and ladies. It was like, okay, so what about this? What about this? What do I need to do for this? And Nathan, Sarah's older brother, goes, just make your helmet already.
He also gets mad at me for painting everything 18 times. He says I could have been approved, like, 2 years ago if I wouldn't keep repainting my schnees.
Yeah, but I understand, like, you want it to be you. You want it to be as close
True.
as
Sarah's also an artist and a perfectionist, so it comes with the territory.
I understand that. So we are almost out of time, but I do want to ask you both, like, a final question I always ask, and that is, how has cosplay shaped you as an individual?
I would say for me, it's really been an outlet for me to express my creativity. I'm sure there's a lot of people who can relate to in COVID, I got really, really depressed not being able to go out and do stuff. And I actually started sewing and going to like Renaissance festivals before COVID. So I started when I was 12, I was 20 in 2020. But I just lost like all motivation. And really the only community I had in the cosplaying world was my sister. And we couldn't go do anything. But after 2020, in like, I don't know, honestly, it's really been the past 2 years. I've got started really getting back into trying to cosplay, trying to make and craft again. And the people have, like, those around have just been so wonderful and so encouraging. Last fall, I think it was, I joined a Discord server and just seeing people started like posting and talking about stuff really made me go, oh, I do love doing this again. Oh, because my only like full cosplay I ever made took me like 9 years to make, so it took me forever, but it was like, oh yeah, I do really like this. I love it. And anytime I'm trying to make something, they're just so supportive. Just, it looks great, it's going great, like, and the ability to ask for help, and not only asking for help but realizing that my knowledge is really valued, because COVID and I didn't go out a whole lot. I was stuck, not really able to share with anybody, and my younger siblings didn't really care. So I had all of this, like, learned a lot at cons, but I wasn't able to talk about it at all, or like give advice, learn anything. So I was just real stagnant, and hooking up with the community has just been so wonderful and so encouraging, and has really helped grow my love of having that creative outlet. Because I'm a big thing of everybody needs a hobby, because if you only do eat, sleep, and work, you're gonna burn out. And I've been there. Find people who like what you like. Be nerds. It's fun. And the Mando Mercs have been so nice and so great. And other, like, it, not just the Mando Mercs, but other, your more, traditional cosplayers. Also, like, it's just a wonderful, so supportive. Like, nobody I've interacted with is really gonna be a critic. I am my own harshest critic. And everybody else, when I'm like, okay, I'm not liking how this looking, they're like, oh, what are you talking about? This looks great. So what if, that took you a year and a half?
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah. Okay, that was really long.
No, it was good.
So I am super an introvert. And so doing this has really helped me, I guess, come out of my shell a little bit. And I've learned so much about just general techniques like sewing and how do you work with metal, and I do a lot of leatherworking. I have like 18 billion hobbies now. But and also because I'm a perfectionist and I'm a procrastinator, doing stuff like this helps me actually finish things. Which is funny because I'm not done with this yet, but whatever. It it helps me actually finish things, which, like, it really makes you feel good. It's like, I did this, I accomplished this, I built this, and like Kristen said, you just meet so many cool people, and learn even more than about costuming. Just the conversations you have with people are amazing.
Mm-hmm. And we all have a shared love. I mean, there's a lot, shared interests. So it's a built-in community. Ha ha ha.
You got me there. Well, I want to say thank you guys for talking to me today. So I really did appreciate both of you. So how can people go and follow you on social media? I'm going to let you guys give those.
Okay, so it just at Sarwyn, which is SARWYN _cosplay. Yeah, that's just it.
I'm on kind of a social media
hiatus.
hiatus
And
at the
that's okay.
moment, so I got nothing.
And that's okay. Well, they have dropped their ads. You can go and follow them on Instagram. Yes, is that what yours is, Kristen?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for talking to me today. It was lovely hearing about your story and hearing about everything. As always, audience, you can go onto Spotify and on YouTube to watch any of the past episodes and watch this episode as well and listen to it. I'm Jay Torres. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, cosplay is a community, so make it one.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Goodbye.